left to the will and whim and caprice of the states. States' rights has often been a symbolic representation of the desire of the southern states in this country, which, by the way, tried to leave the nation during the Civil War
Yes.
and have committed treasonous and treacherous activities ever since against the best interests of democracy. We are now expected to believe that we should trust them to police themselves. And the very success that our vigilance has won us has now been used against us to suggest that we don't even need the very law that made the success possible. And by ending, Clarence Thomas's actions here today, though consistent, though tragic to me, are even more so in light of the bulk of decisions he's rendered in the name of a judicial vote on the Supreme Court. A symbolic Jew has invited a metaphoric Hitler to commit Holocaust and genocide upon his own people.
Joining us from the great state of Wisconsin, Honey Badger Craig.
Okay, James, listen to Dyson and him talking about Clarence Thomas being a symbolic Jew inviting Hitler. What I can't understand is you just talked about the story in Chicago where these young black men are killing each other at an alarming rate. We know that Margaret Sanger pushed for abortion because she wanted to eliminate the weaker, the undesirable people. So it is amazing that the two institutions that they covet the most are the most detrimental and destructive to the black community. But they say nothing. But Clarence Thomas and this request, this rollback to say that states should be treated equally. That's it. Treated equally.
And because Clarence Thomas is and the Supreme Court are recognizing that the need for this is no longer there, and as a matter of fact, you have more blacks voting, especially in the last two elections in certain areas, that it has become an antiquated thing. They got rid of it, and for that. Notice Eric Dyson singles out Justice Clarence Thomas for a special type of over-the-top hatred and bigotry?
Right. So I still wonder, when is Eric Dyson going to go to Chicago and stay there in Chicago until all the killing stops?
Well, that would just be...
Impossible.
Well, that would be...
They have given up on the black community. They have written them off. They have looked at them and said, you know what, you're good for a vote, but when it comes right down to it, you're going to kill each other off anyway. So we're gonna toss this good game, but you just go ahead and do what you do because I've got my ivory tower, I've got my parachute. I don't need to worry about it too much.
When you say they have written off the black community, who is they?
The 10%.
Oh.
The 10% elitist blacks that no longer see themselves as black, even though they talk that black game all the time.
See, Honey Badger,
those folks.
What you just did, you even burned me. You left me in the dust when you said 10%, because now we're going back to the talented 10th. We're going back to the original NAACP. We're going back to a Du Bois, who wanted to bring the elite blacks of his day to help lead the rest of the people out of poverty into the promised land. And there was an utter failure because the people didn't want to go, especially in the 1960s when big government came in and basically offered the carrot. They took it, and their families today are decimated.
And the elitists took the carrot because they realized and got tired. They didn't really want to bring those people up. They just wanted to control them. And they saw this as a way of controlling them. So now they have them stuck in the ghettos of Chicago, in the ghettos of this nation, and they're going to leave them there. And they're going to continue to have this propaganda to make them believe that it's somebody else's fault, that it's that white devil, that white Hispanic that kills one black boy. One! But no, don't worry about it. We put me at him, but we dare not say anything about the countless black men who gunned down people who look just like them on a regular basis for no reason at all. We won't say anything about them. There's no outrage. There's no marches. No speeches. Every one of those children, those 200 children in Chicago, look just like Obama's kids, but he dare not speak of that.
Meanwhile, Justice Thomas is a symbolic Jew selling out his black people to the Holocaust.
Right. So So to tell me what role does Eric Dyson play as he walks me to the gas chamber? Tell me what role does he play as I walk through the gates of Auschwitz? Tell me, Eric.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honey Badger Craig from the great state of Wisconsin on one of the most righteous rants I have ever heard in my life. Thank you very much for calling today.